Hey guys, Neil with Aviator Q. Welcome back to another episode. On today's video we're going to be doing pulled pork. I live in North Carolina, and one of the main meats that North Carolina is famous for is their pork. So we're going to be doing this outside on the Weber Smokey Mountain. We're going to be cooking it on Kingsford Blue, and the smoke we're going to add to it is coming from hickory chunks and a little bit of apple. Sit back, relax, and welcome aboard. So the mixture we're going to be using today is going to be a blend of Killer Hogs, the barbecue rub. That's going to be 2 parts of that mixed with 2 parts of coarse ground black pepper and 1 part kosher salt. I mix that all together in a old shaker bottle, and we're going to apply liberally to the meat. Alright, so this is our Boson Butt. If you've never done a Boson Butt before, super simple. They come almost ready. The bottom side's usually pretty good. There's usually just a little bit of a fat cap on top. Kind of sometimes, depending on how thick it is, you can shave it down a little bit. But you don't really even have to do really anything. You can tell just by that little cut right there. It's about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. You could, if you really wanted to, you could just shave it down just a little bit. You want to leave a little bit to protect it during the cook. But if it's a little excessive, you can just kind of keep your knife kind of flat and just lightly trim it down. If you have a nice sharp knife, that helps. What you're kind of looking for is the difference in the fat. That original is kind of waxy, but down here, once you cut that little bit off, it gets a little pillowy. That will help with the rendering process. Like I said, you don't have to do this, guys. You can take it on. Pork butts, 9 times out of 10, you can take them off, cut them just a little bit, and be good to go on the grill. Once you get that fat cap the way you want it, you want to come down on the bottom and just kind of inspect everything. Usually there might be a few glands or anything. If you see any spots like right here that's kind of fatty, but it's got, looks like a little fresh blood, we're going to cut that out. Over here, this is called your money muscle. The competition guys, that's kind of where they say you get the best money from. There's a little weird thing right here. It looks like a little bit of a bone, some globby fat. I want to be very careful because that's a good part of the barbecue. But we want to just kind of come under here slightly, kind of lift it up. Take that bone off. There's still a little chunk of a bone right there. Get this glob of fat right there that's not going to render. And you've noticed when I did that, now there's a giant vein right there. We're going to come a little deeper into that. Make sure we take that off as well. Anytime you see anything that's bloody or kind of sinewy, you want to make sure you take it off. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. What I'm looking at is right here. This knife is so sharp it actually cut. I can see a blood vessel right there. So even though this is money muscle, I want to get that out of there. I'm going to come just a little deeper and see if I can't just lift that section out. Kind of clean that up just a little bit, make a little aerodynamic here. Alright, got that vein out of there. Kind of exposed the money muscle a little bit. Now just kind of feeling around any hard spots, any pieces of sinew, any leftover bone. Like I said, this is all optional. If you do see the veins in there, you want to get that off of there. Nobody wants that. You don't want that getting in your meat. But very minimal. If you want to, just for a presentation, to kind of help get some meat in there, you can kind of score what's left of the fat cap. Just a very light score. That's going to put some rub down in there. But that's pretty much it, guys. I think that's all we're going to do to it. Alright guys, to start this cooking process, what we're going to do, I'm going to cook fat cap down. My heat on my Weber Smokey Mountain comes from the bottom, so we're going to put the fat cap on the bottom. I'm just going to start by adding some mustard as a little bit of a binder, just for something for the rub to stick to. Start with the side that you don't want to be the presentation, even though it's pulled pork. And we're going to just destroy it anyways. We just kind of basically always want to practice creating a presentation side to apply that rub to. Alright, next is going to be the seasoning that we already made up. And guys, this is going to be shredded and everything, so you really want some good bark to form. The inside's never really going to get. We're just going to pull it. We're going to hammer it. Pork butt can take a lot of seasoning, so we're just going to be very liberal with what we put on there. Alright guys, as we were seasoning the pork butt, we were bringing the Weber Smokey Mountain up to temperature. If you want to see how I set up the Weber Smokey Mountain, I'll add a video up here. That Weber Smokey Mountain's up to temperature, so we're going to get that Boson Butt on the grill. We're shooting for about 280 degrees. We're going to cook it, probably not really even look at it for the first 2-3 hours or so. So let's get that Boson Butt on the grill. Alright guys, we're going to get the pork butt on the grill. Like I said, we got it coming up to about 280 degrees. We're going to set it on here. We're going to let it do its thing, and we're not going to touch it for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. So we're coming up on the 3-hour mark. You can start to see that we're getting some good bark. It's mostly starting to get some fat rendering. I'm going to let it go a little bit longer I want that bark to set up just a little bit harder, and then we're gonna set it. We're gonna maybe spritz it with some apple cider vinegar in the meantime. Probably let it go another 30 minutes. All right, we're coming up on the 4-hour mark. If you notice, the bark has started to change a little bit of color since the last time. We're starting to get some cracks in here from like fats starting to render out. It's kind of similar to what we did with the ribs. I'm gonna put a little bit of barbecue sauce on there, 50-50 barbecue and apple cider vinegar. Kind of sauce it up, tack it up, and then we'll wrap it. So we're gonna hit it with a quick spritz just to kind of wetten it up, so when I apply my mixture of barbecue sauce and apple cider vinegar, it doesn't immediately solidify. I'm just going to kind of work it on there. Now the bark's set, so this should not take any of the bark off. We're just kind of working it on there. Just going to let that set up for about 10 minutes. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do it to the bottom, and then we're going to take it in and wrap it. Alright, so we just pulled the Boson Butt off. We're about to wrap it. I just wanted to quickly talk with you guys about this, about the barbecue sauce thing. This is an extra step. Every time I try to barbecue, I try to do something just a little bit different, play around with it, tweak it. You only make really great barbecue by making a lot of barbecue, or making bad barbecue. I did this technique with the ribs last week, and I really liked it. So this week I'm going to try it on the Boson Butt. If this is your first time doing the Boson Butt, like I said, you don't have to do this step. If you just want to lightly trim it, put some rub on it and smoke it, and then wrap it, hey, that's all. That's all you guys really got to do. I'm just having fun with it. I'm just seeing if it works, if I like it better. But before we got too far along in the video, I just wanted to, yeah. I'm just kind of playing, experimenting too. So let's get that Boson Butt wrapped before we lose too much momentum. Alright guys, real quickly, just got the Boson Butt on 2 sheets. If you can tell, it's double layered about the width of it. I'm gonna take what's left of the sauce, just kind of sauce the top real fast. One more time. This is kind of the last time we're gonna see it, and I'm gonna sauce the bottom of the. Now, just on first look, I think I made the tinfoil too small, so I might not wrap it up the way I normally wrap it up here. Alright, so we got the tinfoil wrapped up there. We're going to get it back on, let it cook for another 3-4 hours. We'll put temp in it, see kind of where it goes. We're kind of roughly wanting to take it to doneness about 202, 205, something like that. But ultimately we're going by feel. Alright, so we've been keeping it going. We're right now on the 8-hour mark. I've been checking it ever so often. It took forever to kind of get through the stall. Right now we're showing somewhere around anywhere from like 200, 199, if you guys can see that. It feels super tender. I'm going to open it up a little bit, and I'm going to let it vent, and then we're just going to wrap it back up and let it rest. You guys can see that. So I cooked that fat cap up. If you guys notice that, looks like the fat cap's kind of all but disintegrated. There's a ton of juice and liquid in here. That's probably all the fat that's rendered. But we're gonna just let that de-steam for a second, then I'm gonna wrap it up and let it rest, and we'll get it pulled in probably 45 minutes or so. Hey guys, so we got that pork butt off. It's been resting for about an hour hour and 15 minutes or so. We're getting ready to pull it up, shred it, kind of pull it for you. I was going to show you guys that process. The cook itself actually took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. A lot of weird stuff kind of happened weird with this cook today. For instance, my Weber Smokey Mountain never got above 270 degrees. I've never had that happen. Usually with the amount of charcoal I use, it comes right up to about 270, 280. I can dial it in, close in a few of the vents, and it just kind of hangs out there. But I never got above 270 today. I don't know if something weird going on with the atmosphere. It was rainy last night. It was kind of cold and cloudy, and it kind of cleared up this afternoon. It's supposed to get snow tomorrow. I don't know if something weird's going on atmospherically, or maybe I just got some old charcoal, something like that. Every cook's a little different. Every piece of meat is a little different. Some, you can cook 100 briskets and they're not all going to take the same. I think maybe it was just a combination of the weather and maybe this chunk of meat. But total cook time ended up being about a 9-hour cook with an hour rest. But we're getting ready to pull it. So we're going to show you that, and then we're going to sign off and get packing because I got to leave for a trip tomorrow. So the first thing you want to do when you get ready to pull your pork is you got to get your bone out. Now, properly cooked pork, it should just kind of come right on out. You can see it pulls clearly off the bone. Nothing really came with it. You could, from that point, just kind of start pulling it, pushing on it, seeing if it come off. Kind of mash it all up. If you don't want to do that, you want to take the time and invest. Got some pork shredders, little claws. You can kind of just take it in there and kind of start working some of that meat out. There's your money muscle right there. Just kind of start working it apart, mixing it, folding it. Name of the game, just kind of pulling pork. See, it's coming off in muscle groups here. That might be a little fat there. We might pull that out. But yeah, you just kind of do it your own, kind of work it around. Start pulling it. Sometimes if you want to get like a gloved hand on there, you can get in there and kind of pull. But we're just going to kind of pull this and fold it, and we'll show you the final product. Alright everybody, so this is kind of the finished product. What I did to kind of get it pulled in the consistency I like, I put on my cotton liners and then put the gloves over and just kind of do everything by hand. I feel like I can get the consistency and the I don't know, the shred that I like best by pulling by hand. At this point, if you wanted to come in and add a little bit more seasoning to the meat that wasn't cooked and then kind of fold it back in, you could, or you could put sauce on at this point. But this is kind of the end of it. This kind of the next, however you guys want to proceed. That's kind of your personal preference with how you want to go out. I think I'm gonna fold a little bit more seasoning on it, and then maybe just put a light thing of barbecue sauce on and plate it up. So that's going to be a wrap for us tonight here at Aviator Q. Appreciate you stopping by. Just to do a quick recap on what we did today, we took a Boson Butt, we seasoned it up, we put it on the Weber Smokey Mountain. We were going for about 280, ended up being somewhere between 260 and 270 all day. Cooked it unwrapped for 4 hours, and we wrapped it up and just cooked it to completion. Finally temped it out around low 200s, mostly going by feel, and then just let it rest for an hour. So if you guys have never done a pork butt before, this is a really easy, really forgiving cut to do. If you're just getting into the smoking thing, I would suggest starting with the pork butt. Like I said, out of the packet, minimal really prep time. What I did with the fat cap, you don't have to do. Pork butts 90% of the time are just packaged ready straight to the grill. But like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Check us out next time on the next video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. It'll help the channel grow, help get new subscribers, and just kind of drive this process. But hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya. Hey guys, Neil here with another episode of Aviator Q. On today's video we're going to be doing what do I want to call it? On today's video we want to doing pulled pork from a Boson Butt. Hey guys, Neil with Hey Nails.
I'm walking my own house.
Walk on the carpet. Hey guys, Neil with Aviator Q. On today's video we're going to be that rushed that one.
Pulled pork.
Well, I've got a dish that North Carolina is, or you know, a meat that, a North Carolina specialty, pulled pork from Boson Butt.
Well, I would just say today we're going to do pulled pork. Now, I live in the heart of barbecue country in North Carolina, and then talk about North Carolina barbecue that way instead of trying to be like. On today's episode, we're going to.
That'll be good for the video there, Raj.